Robert Brault said that we are kept from our goals not by obstacles, but by a clear path to lesser goals. In this video, I'm going to share with you 3 principles that you can apply so that you get these lesser goals done easier and faster. This is Dan LeFave, and I run a coaching business where we help growth-minded entrepreneurs scale their businesses easier and faster by standardizing and systemizing their business operations. So there are 3 things that you want to do that are going to prioritize your life and your business. So you need to start off by tracking your priorities. So you need priority tracking, and there are 3 benefits to priority tracking, and I've tested these with thousands of clients so that I know this works. So there are 3 benefits. So if you're going to track your priorities, you need something to track them, and you might just use a calendar. And the thing about having a calendar is you can put X's on the calendar, and then you can have a series of visual cues. So that's benefit number 1. You're going to have a series of visual cues. We know that works, especially with kids. Around Christmas time or holidays, they're counting down the days, or they're counting the days to their birthday. But the same thing for you in your life and your business. If you want to track your performance, you need a visual cue. I actually recommend you use something a little more better than a calendar, which is something like a 12-week planner. And a 12-week focused productivity planner is something that I've created and you can use, and I'll put in a link below. You can grab that and test it out for yourself. But if you have visual cues, then you can track your performance. And when you have visual cues, guess what? Keeps you honest. Why? Because it's there in front of you. It's staring at you all the time. And if you don't get things done and check things off, then you're not going to feel satisfied. And in James Clear's book, Atomic Habits, he talks about people that use marbles or paper clips, and they have visual cues, and they're basically moving one paper clip from one jar to another, and they do that every single day based on what they need to do in their business. Perhaps they need to make sales calls, or perhaps they need to contact a number of people every day, make connections, and so they just move the paper clips over. That's a visual cue as well. But if you're going to use some sort of tracking method, let's say, for example, you're using my 12-week focused productivity planner, and you have this on your desktop, and you're looking at it, and every single day it's staring at you, and you know that you want to get those things done because those are your highest priority. You want to get those done because you're doing the important and not the urgent. You're not letting the urgent interrupt you. You're not letting other things distract you. As Dr. Benjamin Hardy mentions, 80% of the things that happen throughout our day are distractions. Life is happening to you, not you taking control. Professionals project and schedule their days versus amateurs who just let life get in the way. So I know that you don't want to let life get in the way, so you need to have some sort of tracking system, priority tracking, so that your priorities get done. You eat the big frog first. The second thing that you want to focus on is in terms of getting your priorities focused and the second benefit is that it is attractive. And it's attractive because once you are making progress and you can see that you're checking things off, or you have your calendar and you're getting things done. The 12-week focused productivity system does that. It's a calendar. It's a snapshot of your week, and you only have 3 items that you're focusing on for that week, and you're just checking those off. And as you check them off, progress is motivation. That's the greatest motivation that you can have, is progress. So if you can see progress, and if you have an accountability partner, if you have a coach like me, then you can see the progress that you're making and you feel good. So it is attractive. It actually motivates you to get going, get your things done, check them off, and show up to your accountability calls and say, yes, I've completed what I said I was going to do, right? Small wins will feed your desires. That's the thing. You want to have incremental wins. That's why Robert Brault said that, the path to lesser goals. So what do? You establish a bigger goal, a keystone goal. That's the way that I start with my clients, is we establish a keystone goal, something that you really want, something big, and then we find out where your motivators are, what's in your heart, because you have to have your heart, your head, and your hands all working together. So you find out what your motivation is, what's in your heart, what's your passion, what's your purpose, and then you find out what mindset do you need to have in order to get these things done, and what do you need to practice. And then you apply a system like a 12-week focused productivity planner and get things done. So you got your head, your heart, your hands all working together. And so then that's going to motivate, that's going to feed your desire. It's going to feed your satisfaction. You're going to get things done and then feel good. And as long as you're feeling good, you'll do more. You will have confidence. Why? Because you're developing the competence. You're taking action. It's just like anything else, just like riding a bike. It's just like, hang gliding. If you've never done that before, the first time you do it, your heart's probably going to like 160 beats a minute. But then weeks later, you're probably at, maybe 100 beats and you can manage it and you can handle it. So if you are focusing on getting your priorities done and it's feeding your desires and you're tracking it and you're reporting it to somebody else, you are going to feel good. You're going to keep motivated and keep going. So that's benefit number 2, is that it's attractive and it'll keep you moving forward. And that's what you need. You need some sort of momentum and motivation to keep going. Don't break the chain of events. Don't break the chain is what you want to do. You want to establish a chain that you are doing. Like these videos, I shoot them for fun. Why? Because I can teach what I know and what I'm learning and what I'm studying, but I'm not breaking the chain. I've done these videos for months and I will continue doing them. And as long as you keep getting value, I will keep making them. I'm not going to break that chain. Why? Because it's something that I enjoy doing and I can pass on wisdom and knowledge to you. So you don't want to break the chain. That's why you have a plan for your week and you get them done, feed your desires, and you keep moving. Now, benefit number 3 is that tracking is satisfying. You get some satisfaction out of it. We have dopamine in our mind and in our brain, and it actually serves us. Dopamine is not a bad thing. You might have heard of dopamine, in terms of video games and all sorts of addictions and so on, but dopamine is actually beneficial. It helps you to keep in progress and motivated and getting things done. So if it's satisfying, then you will do more, right? So if tracking is satisfying, you are going to make progress. So you want to have little rewards built in. Otherwise, you're not going to feel good. That's we're seeking rewards all the time. We're human reward-seeking mechanisms. Whether it's things like food, sex, alcohol, your business growth, all those things are rewards, and we're seeking those all the time, every week and every month and every year. And we're always going for some sort of reward. We're looking for something that's going to spike our dopamine so that we feel good. We might have, you might have a series that you're watching or things that you like to watch, and so you're taking that in. Why? Because your dopamine gets a spike. We know that kids can play video games for hours, days, and weeks and months. And why? Well, because it keeps spiking their dopamine. They keep going and there's new challenges and it's never ending. But now we're talking about using it for your purpose, for the things that you want, prioritizing the things that are most important to you so you get them done and you feel good about it. So you want to have a reward, built in. You want to have built-in rewards somehow so that you're checking things off, getting things done. It's satisfying, and you want to keep the streak alive. You want to keep moving consistently towards something. Consistent efforts create patterns, and patterns of results, patterns of outcomes, patterns of maybe things that are evidential that cause you to stop and think and maybe change what you're doing. You know what to fix then. If you're doing something consistently and it's not working, well, then you just stop. You have to stop and reset and think about it. You don't just keep going. If you have the engine light on in your car, you don't just keep going. You're like, oh, there's a problem here. So same thing in your life and your business. But also, this is all about becoming a new person, a new version of yourself, a future version of yourself. So if you think about it that way, it's all about what are you doing to become the type of person that has a growing business, the type of person that has a business that provides them the freedom to do what they want. So you're not sacrificing your family for your business or sacrificing your health for your business. Those are the 3 things we're measuring in my Focus Productivity Planner. We're measuring your business. So you're taking only 3 actions per week, 3 major things per week, 3 priorities that are important. And you're also focusing on your health and your relationships. Not so much on those ones because your focus is on your business at least with me, because it's an intentional imbalance. Get that figured out, and then you have more time and space for your family and your business. But it's only a limited time. You don't want to be pouring all this time and energy and effort into your business and never having time for your relationships or for your health, because you know what's going to happen. Either divorce or heart attack or some sort of illnesses are going to creep in, and you don't want that to happen. So this is, the third benefit is that you keep the streak alive, you keep moving, you keep progressing forward, and you become the type of person that has a business that runs itself. That's what you're ultimately looking for, is a business that runs itself, so that you don't have to be the micromanager. You don't have to be checking in all the time with your team. You want things to be flowing. Recently, I talked to a friend of mine who owns a dental practice, and he went away for a week and a half, and or actually 2.5 weeks. And when he came back, he noticed that one of his hygienists had taken off half the time, sick time. But that didn't happen prior to him leaving, but it happened while he was away. So, is that a problem? Yes, it is. Why? Because that individual took advantage of the boss being away and took time off, and potentially, was it legitimate, or was it just like the statement that while the cat's away, the mice will play. So it's all about how do you manage these things so that you have a self-managing business. Because when you have a self-managing business, a business that runs itself, then you have the systems in place, the standards in place, and you can step back and you can go away and you know that things are going to be managed. Now, by contrast, I have a friend in France. He has a business whereby his team tells him to get out. If he goes in and starts checking emails and checking in on things, they basically tell him to go away and let them run the business, because he's selected his team very well. He's educated them. He's created standards for his business, and now it is running itself, and he doesn't need to be there all the time. He doesn't need to be checking in. He needs to encourage his team and take care of them, but other than that, he does not need to be there. They can manage all of the other aspects of his business because he's systematized it and he's prioritized what's important for him to do and what's important for each of his team members to do, and then they get them done. So these are the 3 benefits to having priority tracking work for you. So if you're going to track your priorities, you need a system for that. And once you have a system in play and you're using it and you have accountability built in, then all the benefits I mentioned are going to click together. It's all going to click together like a puzzle, and you will move forward. And once you start making progress, you will feel good. That will be the magnetic pull. That will be the thing that's going to pull you forward. You need that pulling you forward, because if your future self isn't pulling you forward, your future identity, your future the future potential, then what are you going to do? You're going to stop, or you're going to quit, or you're going to get distracted. Why? Because it's no longer motivating. You need to have progress to keep you motivated. If you don't have progress, then you're going to lose motivation. You're going to stop, and you will let life get in your way. That's what I said at the beginning, which is professionals schedule and plan their days and their lives, and amateurs let life get in the way. You don't want to let life get in the way, so you need to prioritize your life. You need to prioritize the most important tasks that you have in front of you, and make sure that you keep progressing, moving forward instantaneously and progressively. And as you do and you feel good, then you will get things done, and you will have a business that's running itself, and then you can focus your attention on what matters to you. And if what matters to you is to be doing the business development, or doing the creative thinking, or coming up with new ideas, or doing research and sharing wisdom and understanding like I've been doing here, then that is what you want to do. So as I said at the beginning, my name is LeFave, and I run a coaching business, and I help growth-minded entrepreneurs scale their businesses using systems and processes so that they have a business that runs itself. So if you've enjoyed this video, let me know. Otherwise, enjoy your day. Thanks for checking in, and talk to you soon.